Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a makeup tutorial on this look. This look I've decided to call a Valentine's Day look because Valentine's Day, let's be honest, is coming up whether you celebrate it or you don't celebrate it, whether you're going out or you're not going out. It's all in the name of fun really. And the thing is, I think Valentine's Day falls at the weekend this year, so there'll be some of you that'll be going out during the day. So if you want like a more day appropriate sort of look, maybe go for this, even though this is technically not really a day appropriate typical kind of look, but then you know how I am, whatevs. So yeah, so I am wearing some of the new Gwen Stefani stuff on my face, and I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, which you guys all asked me to use in a tutorial, so here it is. And here is the kissy emoji. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll link it below. It's so cute. I just had to share. And this is my t-shirt which says be your own kind of beautiful, because that is the most important thing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Other than that, I hope you're all great, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you all in the video. Bye. Hello. So the first thing we're going to do is prime our eyes with the Air Patrol BB Eyelid Primer from Benefit, which is my favorite primer for the past few months. Then I'm going to be using the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm and just applying a little bit and basically just pressing it and wiping it all over the face. There is literally not a single place on my face that I miss out. I do all of it. Now I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, which has been my favorite foundation I've been using for a couple of weeks now, and I'm using 2 pumps, and I am, as always, dotting it evenly all over my face, just making sure that I don't miss any areas. Then I'm using a Real Techniques stippling brush, which is one of my favorite brushes to apply foundation with, and just making sure that I blend it all in nicely. To conceal the under eyes and highlight the face, I'm using Urban Decay's Naked Skin Concealer, as always, in the shade Medium Neutral, and I'm applying this under my eyes to hide those dark circles. Then I'm using MAC's Prep and Prime highlighting pen in the shade Light Boost, as always, to apply it to all the high points of my face where the light would naturally hit and illuminate your lovely looking face. Looking sexy. And then I'm going to be using my grubby looking beauty blender, as always, to blend it all out nice and seamlessly. And then to set my under eye and highlighted area, I'm using my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, and I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush to make that happen. Oh, I don't use the color correcting bit on the high points of my face, basically just under the eyes. Now I'm using the Sigma Large Powder F30 brush and my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation in the shade NC40 to set everything else. And then I am prepping my lips, as I always do, with my Carmex lip balm. I'm very excited to show you the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette because I've been using it so much, and it's so cute and it's so pink and gorgeous. And I am using the shade Divinity, and I'm applying that all over my eyes to use as like a base shade. Then I'm using the shade Almond Truffle, and I'm using a MAC 224 brush to go backwards and forwards into the crease area. This is a really lovely kind of a dusty rose sort of shade. You can't really go overboard with this. I kind of went backwards and forwards twice with this color. So just carve out your crease nicely until you're happy with the intensity of the shade and how you want it to look. Then I'm using the shade Totally Fetch, and I am using a Morphe M330 brush, and I'm using it in the lower crease to, again, go backwards and forwards, but make sure that you don't go above the Almond Truffle, and just make sure that you blend that all in again so that there are no harsh lines left. Then using the shade Blackcurrant and a Morphe E17 brush, go into the outer V area just exactly the way that I'm doing it. This color is not very intense, it's just to give a slight bit of definition and tone down that pink a little bit just in the outer V area and slightly drag it inwards. But again, this is not to give a lot of color, just a little bit of definition to carve out your eyeball and make it look more human. And then I'm using the shade Cotton Candy and I'm placing it all over the lid with a Royal & Langnickel eyeshadow brush. And this is to really make your eyes kind of stand out. It's a really lovely sort of cotton candy color, which is kind of what it's called. Charlena, a bit stupid there. So just cover all the lid which is remaining and make sure that you blend it in nicely into the Blackcurrant shade. Then I'm using the shade Satin Sheets and I am applying this to the brow bone. It's a really nice pinky champagne color, so it really gives a nice highlight as you want it to obviously have. Now I'm doing my brows and I'm using the groomer brush by Makeup Addiction Cosmetics just to tidy them up and get rid of any random powder that may be floating around. And then I am doing my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Chocolate. And my eyebrows actually do need threading, so they look a bit shabby, so I'm trying to make them look a bit sharper. And I just apply it to the top, outline my eyebrows, then I outline the under area and then fill it all in. I fill in any gaps and I only put the brush into the product once. Oi, I'm like the Rock eyebrow, you know the one. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now and just let you lot watch. And then to finish off the brows, I'm using a new product of mine, which is the Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Chocolate by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I normally use the clear one, but I actually do quite like the tinted one. It's not bad. And then as always, I'm using my favorite liquid eyeliner, which is the L'Oreal Superliner it's called the L'Oreal Superliner. Yeah, that's it. It's not in anything. It's black, obviously. And I'm just lining my eyes. Then I'm using the shade Blackcurrant again, and I'm using a Sigma pencil brush to apply it to the lower lash line to give a little bit of smoke. But again, like I said, it's not a very dark purple despite what it might look like in the actual palette itself. It's a really kind of nice soft purple. Then I'm using the shade Sprinkles, which is a baby pink, and it's a frosty baby pink, and I'm applying that to the tear duct to open up the eyes with a MAC pencil brush. Then I'm applying my Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl pencil, and I'm applying that to the waterline to complete the majority of the eyes. Then I'm using my sleek eyelashes in the style Siamese and whacking them on. Then I'm using Urban Decay's glitter liner, and I think this is in the shade Junkshow, and I'm applying it to the inner lower lash line just to give this look a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of something, but so that it's not too overkill. And I also had just bought this, so in all honesty, I just really wanted to use it. That's my excuse and that's what I'm sticking to. Then to finally finish off the eyes, I'm just using Benefit's mascara in their Real to apply it to my lower lash line. I applied it to my top lashes as well, but obviously I did my eyes off camera. And this is the completed eyes, very soft, flirty, pink and Valentines-y. Now let's do the face. I'm using the Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Palette again. I'm using a new brush of mine, which is the Morphe G3. This one is excellent. It's a very slim but very dense brush, so you can get a very sharp contour, but I only tend to use it on my cheekbone area and on the sides of my nose as well, because again, those are the areas where you want your contour to be sharp. It can't be fluffy and flapping all around because it kind of ruins the look you're going for. And then for the rest of the face, I'm using my usual Sigma angled contour brush to apply it to the rest of the face. Then I'm using the shade Cherry and Easy from the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette, mixing them too. I'm using a Royal & Langnickel blush brush to apply it just above the contour, blending it in. So even though you're using a sharp contoured brush, don't worry about the top part being blended, because that's what your blush ends up doing for you anyway, and then that way you don't really interfere with the shade of the contour. Then just go back in and tidy up any bits that you think may need toning down, taming down. And this is my version of baking, by the way. I don't really do baking. I might do a video on it, but this is how I tidy up my contour, and I've kind of always done that anyway. So I'm just using the Kat Von D palette again. Then I'm using the Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm using the shade Starburst. This is from the Gleam kit, and I'm using a Morphe M310 fan brush. This is an awesome brush for highlight, and I am whacking it all over my face. As with all highlighters, as we all like to say, if you don't think you've got enough on, you probably don't. So just put some more on. Why not? After blotting off my lip balm, I'm using Magenta lip liner by MAC to very thickly line my lips, because the lipstick is pretty much the same colour, so I prefer to do quite a thick line. And I'm using Urban Decay's Gwen Stefani lipstick in the shade Firebird. This is an almost exact match, like I said, to Magenta, which is amazing. You don't have to go out and buy the actual matching lip liner. And then that is it. This is the completed look. Hope you like, hope you enjoy. Subscribe. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you all. Bye.